All right, guys, we got some good news. World Boxing Super Series news on May 18th this year in Glasgow, Scotland. We have two fights going on. We got Naoya Inoue from Japan, three-division world champion, aka the Monster, and he is the Monster versus Emmanuel Manny Rodriguez from Puerto Rico. I believe he's the IBF bantamweight champion. Inoue, the Monster. He's the WBA bantamweight champion. Um, I don't know too much about Manny Rodriguez, so I'm gonna have to watch a couple of his fights. I do know the Monster a little bit. Um, Kid's beast. He's a. They were a couple years ago trying to build up a fight between him versus former pound for pound fighter Chocolatito on HBO a couple years ago, back when they had that unofficial super flyweight tournament going on. That would have been a really good fight. Um, I think Newey's like, I think he's my age. I think he's 25. Um, he's fighting Manny Rodriguez. So I'm going to have to look up Rodriguez a little bit, see what he's got. Bantamweights don't really get typically a lot of love, but I've seen Newey a couple of times, man. Kid's really good. He's got some decent height in the division. I think he's about 5'6", 5'7". Um, Bantamweight, that's like 118 pounds. Kick and box, though. Beautiful jab, excellent right hand, really good hooks. He's got really good basics, pretty down packed. Jab's beautiful, straight right, left hook. Also a pretty good body puncher. You know, he puts his punches together pretty well, cuts the ring off pretty well. Couple things I'm curious to see about: how well does he fight going backwards? How's his chin really? He has been, he's pretty much just iced his way through the competition. Um, Not saying he's the next Nonito Donaire necessarily, but kind of like Donaire. Just have to see what he can and can't do. Right now, he's showing that he's a beast. He's a monster. But still need to show and prove. Those divisions, not a lot of big names down there. So it's good that they're both undefeated. It's good that it's unification. I'm always for unifications. So battle of unbeaten. So it's definitely a fight you're gonna like. And then the main event, same day, May 18th, it Josh Taylor versus Ivan Baranchyk. Josh Taylor, he's the WBC silver diamond champion. I don't know. He's WBC's way of trying to get some money. It's not a real belt though. But Ivan Baranchyk does have a real belt. He's the IBF champion. Um, he was going to pull out, or at least there were talks about pause. There was talk about him pulling out of the fight, basically because of money. I don't think he was trying to duck Josh Taylor. The World Boxing Super Series was in trouble for a little bit because they weren't paying their fighters on time. They weren't getting their paychecks for till like a month or 6 weeks later. I think that's what happened to Baranchyk in his last fight. But I think they just paid him up front, so that put his worries to the side. So that's good. Get your money up. Don't mess with the money, man. Good fight though. I'm a huge fan of Josh Taylor. He's from the UK. I would say between him and Katie Taylor, they probably holding it down for UK boxing. UK boxing is not in a good light right now. Tyson Fury just ducked a rematch with Wilder. AJ, he's been ducking God knows how long. And he hasn't had a good performance since Eric Molina, where he's, start to finish had a sharp performance. Kell Brook, he's been all over the place with his career. Khan didn't look great against Vargas, but he might do better versus Crawford, which sounds crazy because Crawford's the best fighter on the planet right now. But some fighters fight to the level of the competition, and I think Khan kind of has that. Besides having not the greatest chin, I think that's a weakness of Khan is that he sometimes struggles with journeyman. Who else UK fighter? Billy Joe. He ducked and moved up to, got caught on the juice, ducked. Now he's moving up to super middleweight. James DeGale, he just got retired. George Groves retired. Not in a bad way for George Groves, but he definitely overachieved. Happy for him that he finally became a champ. Carl Frott's still talking crazy about him. I don't know why. Dude is next level petty. Um, it's a shameful. I actually like Carl Frott. He's a good fighter, but when it comes to George Groves and Andre Ward, Carl Frott is just all over the place. Anybody else, he's actually pretty good when it comes to talking about boxing and other fights in general. But Andre Ward, George Groves, he seems like he always has a little disdain for those guys. So not little, but I don't know. That's his business. That's his issue. Who else? Carl Frampton. He's been on the downturn for a while. Hasn't really looked the same since he lost to Santa Cruz. Josh Warrington's a solid fighter. Um, like I said, he's kind of a poor man's Ricky Hatton. Yeah, kind of a Jake LaMotta, Ricky Hatton type style. You don't have the same power as those dudes, but stylistically, that's who he kind of reminds you of at featherweight. But Baranchyk, Josh Taylor, that's a really good fight. Josh Taylor, I like him a lot. Real smooth. He can switch. He can box. Decent power. Very dominant over Ryan Martin in his last fight. Schooled him up top to bottom. Good body puncher. Good resume. Um, Beat Carlos Molina. I think he's the first to stop Miguel Vasquez. Um, Beat Victor Postal in a very close fight. He was tested in that fight. Beat O'Hara Davies, which is kind of like his domestic rival. Beat him up. So for a guy with only 14 fights, he's actually building up quite the resume. So um, I think him and Regis Prograis are literally the top two guys at 140. I would love to see those two fight. I don't know who would win between those two. Maybe I would slightly lean with Josh Taylor, but we'll see. That could be subject to change. And Regis Prograis got a tough test in front of him with Kirill Relic. So that's going to be a good fight stylistically. And Taylor versus Baranchyk, that's a good fight. Baranchyk, he's tough. Yeah, he got a little athleticism to him. Definitely can crack. Yeah, he can punch. Not super technical, but he goes balls to the wall. I'll give him that. He can crack. He's tough. Every punch he's throwing. He reminds me a lot of David Lemieux, to be honest. At first, I was like, maybe Ruslan, but he got sneaky athleticism like Lemieux. So he kind of reminds me a little bit of Lemieux, Vodnikov. I think he's with Freddie Roach now. So he's not going to have much of a defense. Yeah, I think Freddie Roach is good with offense, but defense, not a strong suit. So, yeah, I think of a Provodnikov, Lemieux-ish type at 140, but he can crack. So, puncher's chance for sure. Josh Taylor, he's got decent power. He can box. Real smooth. Love his angles. Love his body work. Love his jab. Love his confidence. That's what I like about him and Regis Prograis. They got legitimate confidence, bro. I think they fight anybody. They kind of give me that Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford vibe where fight anybody. So those are definitely two names to check out for. Baranchyk will not be easy for Josh Taylor. I think Josh Taylor can beat him in outboxing. Maybe late stoppage, but I'll probably say he'll box to a decision. But we'll break that down more as that fight gets closer. But it'll be on May 18th. Great fight, great card. We got one unification, one top level title fight at 140. Division is starting to make some noise, and Teofimo Lopez, a highly touted prospect that might be moving up in the future. So who knows? So 140 is going to be Mikey Garcia might be coming down there. Lopez might be going up. So you got, Baranchyk, Relic, Prograis, Taylor. Who knows? Robert Easter in the future, because he's a big lightweight. So we'll see. 140 looking kind of nice. But let me know what you guys think about the World Boxing Super Series. Drop a comment, like, dislike, subscribe, and take it easy, guys.